Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today we are cooking a fancy savoury treat, which is actually good because it's going to be really hot and it's technically not really a cook, it's more of a prepare. It is called artichoke tapenade with fennel pita crisps. So the reason why I say it's cook but it's not is we're basically just toasting the pine nuts and we're cooking the bread. But anyway, come on in and I'll show you what we need. So our ingredients will be as follows: 2 tablespoons of pine nuts, 150 grams of marinated artichokes drained. I haven't drained them yet and I haven't weighed them out, but I'm pretty sure that that's all I need. 85 grams of green olives pitted and chopped. Same deal there, I haven't weighed them yet. 1/4 cup of grated parmesan. There's a little bit left in that one and the rest will be in here. 2 tablespoons of continental parsley chopped. That was in the freezer. 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. 3 pieces of pita bread cut into wedges. Now I couldn't find what they call pita bread, but I'm just using the wrap bread. This will do the same thing. 2 teaspoons of fennel seeds, which we're lightly going to crush. To lightly crush them, we're just going to put them in the mortar and pestle. And some sea salt, which is just that one, which I've got to crack. All right, so you'll also need a large oven tray. Line it with baking paper, oven on 200, a food processor, and you will need a small frying pan in which we're going to toast the pine nuts. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the pita bread because that's got to go in the oven and that's technically going to take the longest time. So while this is going on, I can prepare the rest of it. I am actually delayed with this because it was so hot yesterday and I was just absolutely exhausted. I did not get to doing this yesterday, so therefore I am trying to get this done before I go to work today. I don't like when these breads start to stick. It's just been crazy trying to get ingredients even as well in between Christmas and New Year period. So I sort of, originally when I went to look for something to do, I saw that I had the artichokes in the fridge. And I thought, okay, well, at least if I do that one, then I'm not going to have to worry about buying anything, which is good in a way. Okay, so to cut it into wedges, just think of cutting up a pizza. Like so. So we've got little wedges. And we're going to measure out those fennel seeds and we'll pop them into the mortar and pestle. So let's get that. Okay, so it was 2 teaspoons of fennel seeds. That's a good thing about the mortar and pestle. You can literally just, you pop it in the bowl, you've got this little thing, and you just bruise them. You can buy all sorts of fancy crackers now. Where I'm working today, we've got an amazing assortment of chips and dips and everything. I'm just going to crack the sea salt into here. It probably won't be a teaspoon, but we'll see how we go. That'll do. All right, so we've got our blend already made up this way. Let's bring over our big tray that we need so that we can get this rolling, because these are going to cook for 10 minutes. So while this is going on, we can be making the actual tapenade. So layer them out in here. So it says to do them in a single layer, obviously, which there's a lot of them here. We're just going to put them in. Okay. And with the rest of the dip, I would recommend, or tapenade, I'd recommend you just get yourself some fancy crackers or something, corn chips, whatever you like to snack on to go with it. Now, I'm not going to actually get them into one layer. I don't know what size baking tray they expected you to have to fit 3 of these on. So I'm sort of going to go up the walls a little bit as well. Okay. So it says to spray with olive oil. I'm just using my canola cooking spray. Oh, that was exciting. And then we're just going to sprinkle this over the bread. You know the quickest way to sprinkle it. Just go like this. All right. In this goes for 8 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to give it 8 minutes and we'll see how we're going. So they'll look like that. Next up, grab yourself a small frying pan. I brought this one ages ago. It's a good little single-use one. Good for doing like a little bit of bacon and a fried egg or something. So just give that a spray. We're going to add our 2 tablespoons of pine nuts, and we're going to toast these for 4 minutes. And while these are toasting, we can be getting the rest of the ingredients weighed out. Normally I'm a lot more organised. I was going to get everything organised last night, and quite honestly I just wanted to go and lay down. Alright, so they're going on for a little while. We'll pop them on a low temperature and then we just keep going and giving them a shake. Okay, so we've got the bread done. So into our food processor, here's what we will need. I did see season with pepper. I wasn't imagining things. So I'm going to bring over the scale so that I can weigh out the other little goodies. And so first of all, we want 150 grams of marinated artichokes. Well, these are grilled ones, but they are marinated as well. Spoon. Okay, let's see what comes up, hey? And if I'm short a little bit, well, I'm short. That's all I can say, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm short. I can cheat by putting a bit of the oil in, but that's not really good though. All right, well, I'm short by 28 grams. That's not too bad though. All right, don't dispose of the oil down the drain. That's a no-no. Okay, so we've got those. 85 grams of green olives, pitted and chopped. We'll make up with it with the olives. I can put extra olives in to compensate for what we've lost. So these are green olives. They're whole ones. They're in brine. Can't remember if there was pits in them or not. But I think the main thing is at least it's going to get 2 jars out of my fridge that have been in there for a while. And this is what cooking is all about, using up what you've got, minimize your costs that way. Three. Okay. All right, well, Well, I've gone over with these, but that's fine. So I'm at 111 with those. So that will sort of compensate for what we've lost out on. And we did need to chop those, but I'm going to put them straight in the food processor to do that. The only other thing we need to measure out is the Parmesan, which is 1/4 cup. We'll just give the pine nuts a little bit of a shake, like you're making popcorn. Or just grab yourself a spoon even and just stir them. So what was I looking for? 1/4 cup. Okay, 1/4 cup of Parmesan. Okay, this is going to make a mess. So what I'm going to do is put it on the lid, tip it out, and then that way I know exactly where I'm up to. Supposedly. Oh, I'll keep that bag to put the marinade juice in, actually. I need scissors. Yes, there's a whole big campaign here in Australia to not put things down the drain, things like oils and stuff. So anytime when I say don't put that down the drain, I don't know what other countries are like, but it's a no-no for us to be putting things down the drain that you would normally think, oh, that should be okay down the drain. Okay, that is a stupid closing Parmesan. It's a resealable bag. Is it now? Oh, there we go. I heard the clicky click noise. I'm not very convinced about that though. We also need 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. So in this case, I'll just use 1/2 tablespoon and do 3 of them. And then 2 tablespoons of parsley. I'm just going to use whatever's there. So this recipe, as I say, is great because I've literally used up. I think all I had to buy for this one, thinking out loud, was just the Parmesan and the bread. So it's gone from a potentially expensive one to a cheap one. All right, I think the pine nuts should be done enough. So let's bring these over. They'll do, they're golden enough. Okay, the pine nuts go into the food processor. So do everything else. So in goes our Parmesan. In goes our parsley that we're not going to measure because, as I said, we're just going to use what we got here. So I would keep one of these bags to put that oil in, the oil and the brine, so that way it's not in the bin. These are going in. There's a little bit of oil in with that, but that won't hurt. That will just flavour it a little bit. Olives, I'm pretty sure there was no seeds in them. I'm just going to chop one just in case because I truly can't remember. If there's seeds in them, I don't want to stuff up my food processor. Not today, not tomorrow. Oh, there's a bloody seed in them. Damn shit. Sorry. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so unless you buy pitted olives, you're going to have to just chop them. So that's good in a way. As I say, I don't feel like breaking my food processor today or any day, thank you. So I'll get rid of those pits. Actually, they can go in there. All right, so all we need now is our olive oil, 1.5 tablespoons. One, 2, 3. Now while this is whizzing up, I'll show you how the bread turned out. They turned out very good. So you've just got to let these cool down before you put them into an airtight container. So while you're doing this, you want to be getting a knife or a spoon and just giving it a scrape down in between, because obviously things are going to stick to the sides. So I would probably recommend a knife. Just scrape it around the outside and then off you go again. Okay, once it's all done, we are going to add some pepper and then we're ready to serve. So you process it until it's coarsely chopped and then you season it with pepper. So that's how it's supposed to look. So just add a bit of pepper in. I'd give it one more bolt around and then we'll dish it up. Add as much pepper as you like. If you know me, you know I love my cracked black pepper. Some people hate it, some people love it. That's on you, how much you want. All right, so I'm going to pop that into a little ramekin. This one here, I'll get a spoon. And then we're done. A spoon. All right. In goes that. In goes this. All right. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been artichoke tapenade with fennel pita crisps. I'll catch you soon. Bye.